the needle on the record.
Hello, everyone.
Catching us doing other things. Hey.
We're back. Financial sins. All right, we all kind of guilty of financial sins. Let's get this show on the road. Hey, good afternoon, everyone out there. This is Florence Glover, and welcome to your show. This is Financial Sins, the new podcast on the All Things Relevant media platform. Now, we're excited about you joining the conversation every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on All Things Relevant Media on Facebook and YouTube. So be sure to join in. Now, I'm Mad Flo. Sounds like I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm just making a difference for life and others. That's what Mad Flo stands for. But I have two awesome co-hosts that's going to be sharing phenomenal information with you today. And that is Tanya Scott Pilcher and Anthony Murray. So now let's tell you a little bit about me, okay? First, I'm a retired police officer, captain of the original Chatham County Police Department. If anyone out there remember the original Chatham County Police Department, I'm a product of that. Good thing. I'm married to an awesome husband. We share three wonderful, wonderful daughters and three fantastic grandkids. I mean, they're the best. I'm a licensed agent with WFG Insurance Agency, and I am a licensed financial educator with WSB, which is a division of WFG. And I love educating and empowering others with financial knowledge. After all, financial education is power. Remember that. But applied financial education is powerful. So you have to apply what we share with you. So let's meet up every Friday here and join in the conversation. Now let's meet your other host of Financial Sins. Let's start with Tanya Scott Pilcher, and then it'll be Anthony Murray.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanya Scott Pilcher, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I am the owner of an insurance school, a state certified insurance school called Get Skills, where I can help people that want to get their insurance license do just that. And those that are already insured, we can help you get your continuing education classes. So we're here located in Savannah, Georgia. I am a full service insurance agent providing you with home, auto, life, and health insurance. I am a proud homeschool mom. And again, on a Friday, I'm giving it up. But she has an awesome art class that she is involved in right now. And she's going to be doing a Black History Month project with none other than Keisha Gibson Carter later on today. So she's busy while I'm up here, out here helping people understand what we're going to be talking about today, credit, right? So that's all I'm going to say about me today. I was going to say, what I love to do besides helping people is I love to travel. So I hope I get to talk about travel and credit today.
All right. All right.
Look at that. My name is Anthony Murray. I also am part of World Financial Group and World System Builder. Hello, everyone out there. I also have an associate's degree in insurance and real estate, going back a long few years. I had opportunity to work with a couple of great companies, one called Mutual of Omaha, worked with them in Connecticut, another called Edward Jones. Edward Jones, you may be familiar with them. I worked with them here in Georgia. So it's really a great opportunity for me. I consider this a privilege and an opportunity to be with you today and to talk to you about credit. I used to own a credit repair company years ago. And so this is a great discussion. If you know of anyone that needs to hear this, y'all need to get on the horn, text them, call them, wake them up, shake their bed, light a firecracker, do something. No, don't light a firecracker. Don't light a firecracker. Just get their attention, in other words. All right. And myself and Florence as well, we are licensed to help you with any area of coverage that you need. All right. So we love you guys. And as Flo said, this is your show. And I want to hear about the travel too from Miss Tanya. Yeah, I want to hear about that travel.
In the midst of all this COVID, I have not stopped. That's the other thing. So if we are no longer going overseas, then we are definitely exploring every inch of the United States. So we've changed our traveling and the way that we do it a little bit, but we are still doing it. So,
all right.
Well, in order to do that, girl, I know one thing has to happen. You have to be financially stable. You have to. In order to travel,
you have to
know how to manage that money to put that in there. That's a great thing. You know what? I want to share something with the audience out there. Let y'all know something up front. There is nothing that we share on this show that is new information. It's only new to you if this is the first time you heard it.
First time you heard it.
Now, we live in a microwave information world. I mean, if you want it, it's instant. If you want to know anything from finance to cooking to building a house, all you have to do is Google it, Bing it, Yahoo it, YouTube it, read it in a book, audiobook, ebook, and other ways. So there are so many avenues that we can receive information, and the power to increase your knowledge is at the tip of your finger. So it's nothing new that we're sharing. It's just new if this is the first time you ever heard it.
Absolutely. And I don't know if y'all noticed. Did y'all notice that,
I noticed that.
Did you notice the fro?
I noticed
the fro is back. Okay, all right.
And you notice I'm still doing Black History Month.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, you see, I got my colors. All right.
So we're going to talk about how to build credit and protect your credit. So can you think of some ways that we can teach them or tell them or give them information on how to build their credit, Tanya?
Well, let me tell you a story. So I went to work for an insurance company called, that's not important. But whatever. But we were giving an expense account. And so you had to get an American Express card in order to, be able to use your expense thing. And so I said, okay, no problem. Well, I could remember, back when I was younger and my first job, I had an American Express. So I was turned down. You're talking about the most embarrassing thing that could ever happen was you're on this corporate job. You have to have this business American Express account in order for them to put the charges and the things that you were going to be doing business with. And you get turned down.
Wow.
I wonder why that happened.
Oh my God, I'm going to get fired. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what to do. So I had to make some telephone calls to get that cleaned up quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I had no idea that my credit was going to affect my employment.
Wow.
So, yeah. And so luckily, because it was many years later and I was talking with the young lady thinking that, all of that should have been cleared up, taken off your credit report. And you go back through American Express, they still see that stuff that you did 20 years ago. But it was easy to get it cleaned up. But some of us are afraid to make that telephone call because once you're turned down. And if I didn't make that telephone call, then I would still, I would still be embarrassed, maybe not even have the job. Wow. But it was very important that I, again, make the telephone call, see what the issue is, and then you may have to pay the debt if that was the case. But that was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. And believe me, from that point further, nothing else. I made sure that my credit and I paid my stuff on time from that point forward. Isn't that embarrassing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? It's life, right? It happens in life.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, I'm asked the audience a question, and I want y'all to respond somewhere in the chat in the on Facebook. Just give me a response. Have any of you ever heard of something how you can build your credit with something called a company called Self Incorporated? If you've ever had to file bankruptcy and you're trying to get a loan, or if you have just bad credit, boom, everything's just horrible, you can't get credit, just like she did right here, and you want to get a loan, do you know there's a place out there, a company out there that actually, no matter how, if you're fresh out of bankruptcy, no matter what, you can get a loan, and the company is called Self Incorporated. And y'all listen to this address here, www.self.incorporated. And if you go there, this is a self-builder loans. It builds credit history and save money, even if you're fresh out of bankruptcy. And this is how it works. I think we touched on this a little bit last week. Let's say you're trying to get a loan. You can't get a loan because you're bad credit. So if you contact Self Incorporated and you apply for their loan online, what happens is this. You're going to pay them back. They're going to loan you, say, $830. And you're going to pay that $830 back, but you're not actually going to get the money to do what you want to do with it. What you're going to do is you're going to pay them $35 a month for 2 years. Every month. You can't miss a payment. You cannot be late. Report to all 3 credit bureaus. At the end of 2 years, you get $740 back, because the only thing he was doing was just using your money to help build your credit. There's 830. It's like they get I think it's like 10% of that money. Okay. And 2 years, it's a savings account. You get that money right back. I'm in the process of doing that right now. So remember, there's ways out there. That's not the only self-loan company out there. There's others out there, but you have to do just like she said. Pick up the phone. And give me that statement you said last week, Anthony. You said fear does what to success?
Fear paralyzes you. It will freeze you. You will stop. You will stop in your tracks. It paralyzes you. It paralyzes you mentally. It paralyzes you socially. It paralyzes you. So you want to get over your fears. Like The ladies said, Flo and Tanya, make the phone call. You know, when I had my credit repair company, I would make phone calls for people and send a letter on their behalf. And something I found out very interesting, this was back in the 80s. If even as legit as a situation may be, and I'm not telling you not to pay your bills, we should pay our bills, right? Even as legit as it may be, and it's on your credit report, if you refute it enough, they'll take it off.
True. Pick up the phone.
They will take it off. So if you know what to do, you know, ignorance is not bliss when it comes to your credit.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna tell you,
neither is fair. I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about increasing your score. Another way we can do that. Tanya, can you tell them another way they can do that?
Increasing your score? Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when I talk about increasing my score, I have to just talk about the experiences that I had. So as a young person, and those of you that may be just starting out, it's okay to have someone co-sign with you when you're getting something. So my very first car, my gold Honda Accord that I drove for 250,000 miles. The very first time that I purchased that car, I had to purchase it with someone. And once my auntie told me, you better pay this thing on time. And because of the fear that I had of her, I made sure that I paid this credit or this car payment on time every single month. So it helped me to grow my credit and my credit score. So at the end of it, my financial situation got better, and I paid the car off a little early. And so once that happened, then my credit score went way up. So that was one of the ways to, you know, I'm talking to people that just starting out for the very first time. What can they do? And don't be afraid to co-sign with someone. And parents and family members, help them, help those young folks that's out there that need the assistance to get their credit going and their credit off off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the other thing that I did with my own kids is that I put their names on a credit card with me to help them establish credit.
So become an authorized user. That's awesome.
Right. And so now it's not difficult as if he wants to go out and purchase a vehicle, his credit standing is better. He still doesn't have any, but he has something, and his scores are going up because he's on a credit card with me. So this is the way that we can help our young people get their credit established.
No, that's great wisdom right there. That's really good wisdom. But I do beg to differ on the cosign. I know there's a lot of people that cosign. If you get stuck with that thing, if people that cosign, if the person they lose their job or whatever, now if you cosign, you got to realize you are responsible for that.
So we want
now.
Now.
Yeah.
I say we want the audience to know that when it comes to cosign, what you just brought up.
That's right. It's very important that you understand if you're going to cosign, you are responsible for that.
But remember, I co-signed with somebody that I was afraid with. You know?
Say you were afraid of him, huh?
I was afraid.
Maybe
I didn't miss
trust that person.
3 years. I didn't miss
that or whatever.
Never.
Hey, listen, there's things you could do. You're going to get on a loan with somebody, make that thing so it's an automatic draft. So it's automatically coming out of that account, and make sure you have money in that account. All right. The other thing that you could do too, you could get what is called a secured credit card from a bank. All right. When I worked at a furniture store, and everyone, want to know, well, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? All right. Now, so furniture stores, they have plenty of credit they can help you with. And some of that credit, boy, the interest rate, it's up there. But it will be, depending on the store, you got to make sure that they are reporting it. The store I worked for, they didn't report it. All right. It was in-house. Okay. And the companies that they use, they did the reporting. But you had to really make sure that you qualified. But the secure credit card, let me tell you how it works. You go to a bank and you tell them, you ask them about their secure credit card program. And they require you to make a deposit into the credit card for the amount that they're going to issue you for credit. So if they're going to give you a $500 credit card, you have to deposit $500 in there. Mm-hmm. And it's put in that credit card. And then what they do is they issue the credit card. It's your money, okay? But you have to pay that thing on time because it's being reported on your behalf to build up your credit. Now, when you do a good job with that, at the end of a period of time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, or whatever, you could reapply for a regular credit card with that same bank that you have history with. All right.
What happens to the credit score? What happens to the credit score if they continue to do that? All right.
And that's it goes up. Now, let me tell you something I found out very, very important from one of my old customers. He paid every bill he had, whatever date it was due on, payment was received. If it was due on the 1st, that man made sure the payment got there early. Due on the 5th, it got there early. What's the advantage of that? Your credit score goes up tremendously the earlier you pay the bill.
Right. The earlier you pay it.
All right. If you pay, if they give you a grace period of 15 days and you wait till day 15, credit score is going to go up, but not as much. Okay. So you want to make sure you pay that bill as early as possible. And if you could do like Tanya did, pay that thing off early, it's even better.
Right.
Let me share something with you with that paying off early. I don't know how many of you are ever able to do this, but every bill in my house is paid up by the 7th. That includes the mortgage. By the 7th of every month, because I know what my electric bill is going to be. I know what my cable bill going to be. I know I'm a mortgage. Everything is paid up by the 7th of the month. I mean, and I love that because now anything that's coming in the household, that's money to me. I don't have to give that to, to the electric company, the telephone company, anything. I have made that, I've paid off my bills. Now I have extra left over for me. But it's one thing I always do first. I pay myself first. Mm-hmm. Money comes in, I pay myself first, and then pay all my bills, done by the 7th. And then anything else that's coming into the household as far as income, that's more money that I have that I can pay myself or we can splurge.
Yeah. Hey, let's answer that question. Who's better, prepaid or furniture sales? Whichever one you're comfortable with. All right. If you need furniture, and then you apply for furniture. But you just have to ask, is this in-house credit or is it reported to the credit bureau? All right. And you have to make sure. So when you're dealing with a furniture store, a jewelry store, I should send a lot of people to the jewelry store. A lot of these stores do in-house financing, and you have to ask them because your credit goes up, but only with them. Nobody else knows about it. So you ask them, are you reporting this credit? And which credit bureau do you report to? And once you find that out, then you could apply with whichever one you're more comfortable with. But that's the key.
I know one thing, if you're late, they report that.
Oh yeah. If you mess up with that furniture store, boy, they turn it. What they do actually, they turn it over to their attorney, and their attorney reports it to the credit bureau.
Absolutely.
That looks worse on your credit history. So you definitely want to make sure that that you pay things on time. You know,
And
and
I'm add something that prepaid and the furniture store. I'm this
Mhm.
way. If I have an opportunity, if my credit is good already, and I know it's good, or if I know I'm good with paying my credit cards off on time and everything, I would prefer to use a prepaid card than to use a furniture store credit, because of
me
the
too.
fact
Mhm.
that prepaid, that's like cash money. And I know I'm not going to get myself in a position where I've got the credit card with the furniture store, interest rate is being added on that. This is if you're in good standing with your credit already, not trying to build it. If you can pay cash at any time, pay cash. And you don't have to
Right.
worry about paying interest on anything. Or if you use a credit card, make sure you put enough, no more than what you can pay off in 30 days. And Tanya, could you tell them what credit bureaus can they report? Can they check their credit? What's the name of the credit bureaus?
We have 3 credit bureaus. One is called TransUnion, the other is Equifax, and the other is Experian. And so when you go to TransUnion, it's just www.transunion.com, Equifax.com, and Experian.com. And those will allow you to get a free credit report every year. So you can always get a free up-to-date credit report once a year from any one of these 3 bureaus. Each bureau reports something different. So you would need to pull a report from each one to see and validate what is on your credit history. And those things that you that are super old, I would challenge them, especially if you probably have paid them off or paid it to little or it got written off or anything. I would challenge it. Just go ahead and write a letter or send something in. And they have to take a certain amount of days in order to respond back to you. And with everything that's going on, a lot of times if they don't respond back in time, they have to write it off. So I would challenge it. I always do so.
That's true. That's true. Anthony, I'm going to ask you a question.
Mhm.
And I want to know if the audience knows this answer to this question. I know you know the answer already. But the question is this. Is a person's credit score lowered for checking their own credit score? Is it lower because they checked it?
No. When you pull that credit, you get your credit report pulled yourself. It's a freebie. It's not going to affect your credit score. So pull it. You know, and that's going to be in your favor. So like Tanya said, different things are reported to different credit bureaus. You know, Equifax is probably one of the biggest ones, but it doesn't matter. You just pull everything. And then this way,
what if someone else pulls my credit report?
it's effective. If somebody else pulls your credit, it's effective. If I pull my credit, it's not effective.
It's affected negatively or positively?
It's affected negative. Your score goes down when someone else pulls your credit. You go there, and this is why, you know, a lot of inquiries aren't good. A lot of people do this. They go one place and they get turned down. So they say, well, I'm just going to go over here to the other place. It's already on there. All right. They're going to say, well, didn't you just pull? We used to see it all the time. People go across the street to one store. They got turned down. They come over here. We pull the credit. And so we ask, oh, why did so-and-so store turn you down? So we need you to complete this application. We need more verification. We need this, da, 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 da. By the time you finished, they changed their mind and they went to another store. You know, so it's not wise to keep running all over the place, getting your credit pulled. It's going to go down, I believe it's around 10 points every time you pull it. All right. So, and then it takes, it's either 3 or 6 months. I don't remember the exact period of time for those scores to be built back up. So you have to use wisdom when you're pulling your credit. Don't get, I've seen it happen, And for the life of me, I can't figure out when I worked in the furniture store why all the people that were pulling the credit were women. When are the men going to stand up and be a man and lead the home? All right, I just want to throw that in. I just wanted to throw that in.
I have no idea what difference that made.
I just want to throw this just
the most money? Is that it? I don't know.
He brought in menopause last week.
Yeah.
He always the woman. He's always putting us down.
No, I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying that the man is supposed to be the leader in the home. But when it comes to credit, most men, their credit are tore up from the floor up.
Yeah, we got a few questions on here. Let's answer these questions.
All right.
Is it good to close accounts that you no longer use or that gave zero balances? No, do not close your accounts. Why? Because you never know when you may need to use that card. You've already built up your credit, which is good. So all you have to do is just don't use it. Just freeze it, but not close it.
History is also good. History. Yeah. The history makes a difference when you have history for a long period of time. So don't close anything that you have zero. Now, if you don't plan on using it at all, just take it on off.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know that when you close your accounts, it does affect your credit score.
Your credit. It affects it. I didn't know that as a young man.
Question in reference to hard pull and soft pull.
Go ahead, Tanya. You want to read that one?
No, go ahead.
What's the difference between a hard pull versus soft pull on your credit? All right. So a hard pull is a in-depth credit inquiry. They may go back several years researching your credit. Soft pull is just as generic. They just want to check, see if you have any criminal record or anything like that, or check your score. But a hard pull, I mean, they're really digging. They're checking your work history. They're checking if you have criminal history. I mean, they are going back. All right. So they may go back 10 years, 5 years, 7 years on a hard pull. Soft pull is more relevant, and they're just making sure that you're viable to even speak with about credit. All right. Mm-hmm. So I use Credit Karma also. Do you recommend it? Flo, why don't you talk about that?
Oh, I love Credit Karma.
I love Credit Karma.
I love Credit Karma. I have that on my, you can download it on your cell phone. You can just hit the button at any time in the app and check what your credit score looks like on two of them. They're going to only check two, which is going to be the what's that main one?
TransUnion
and Equifax. That's the two that they're going to check. So they don't check the third one. But I love it. I'm going to tell you why. Because it also gives an opportunity. It also gives an opportunity to keep up with if you're approved for any type. It says already pre-approved. They've already did research for you for different credit cards. If you're looking for credit cards, you're looking for loans. If you're looking for mortgage loans, anything like that. Basically, they already have done the research based on your credit report on whether you will be approved or not approved. So I love it because I was able to get one credit card, and I'm just getting out of bankruptcy, but I was able to get a credit card through Credit Karma, and the interest rate is pretty high. It's about 29%. And I've used it, paid it off, but I was able to get like $2,000 of credit through Credit Karma on their credit cards. So I love Credit Karma. It's having that microwavable, access to it where you can check it anytime. But that's not the only one out there. There's others out there. You just have to do your research.
The other thing about Credit Karma, though, is that it gives you the actual credit score. So remember, if you pull it from TransUnion or pull your report, that's all you're going to get is your report. And until, I think Obama put in place that you can now actually get your report, your actual score. And so that's why I like Credit Karma. And it also tells you everything that you're doing. So you get an email. If you paid something off, you'll get an email that says that it looks like you paid off an account. And it'll tell you if your score is going up or going down. and from the different things that are happening. So I really enjoy Credit Karma and using it on a regular basis as far as checking where I am, especially when you're getting ready to purchase something and you want to know in advance of what your score is. So Credit Karma is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can also be able to use that at any time, like you said, on your phone and so forth. She asked a question. Angela asked whether or not you can control or block your credit being pulled. And I'm pretty sure that there's a way to block it by making a telephone call, but I am not 100% because I've never tried to do that.
It depends on what you're doing, what you're applying for. If you don't want them to pull your credit, they don't have to pull it, but you probably won't get what you're trying to get, though.
But can you block them?
I had an experience where I had a problem with my credit. I think what she's asking, they added something to the credit bureau, added something to my where I would be notified if there seemed to be some sort of fraudulent something happening. I'm gonna have to do the research on that and check to see what actually happened. But there was something that the credit bureau did where they just actually contacted me if it seemed like something was not right, because I was going through some sort of identity. Somebody was trying to steal my identity.
Identity theft. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the credit bureau did something. I'm gonna have to research that for you. And what I do is I get back next week to find out exactly what happened in my case and see if that's something that is still being done by the bureaus. But it was something that happened.
Yeah.
And this was over about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that you can actually get them to not pull your credit report at all.
Right.
So,
right.
Right. So if you go somewhere, it's not going to run. I believe that they still have that available if you make contact with them. Again, that's probably picking up the telephone and making a phone call to make sure that
Yeah, you can actually set it up that anytime someone's pulling your credit, that the credit bureau will not release the information without contacting you first.
Yeah.
All right. We've had that many times where the credit bureau will actually call the person while they were in the store and ask them, or are you having your credit run at such and such and such location? And then we have to get on the phone and talk with the person and explain to them what they're doing, what they're buying, how much it's for, so forth, to verify who we are, the name of the store, the address, how long we've been in business, so forth and so on. And then they'll go ahead and get the person's permission to release their credit information. So there's a couple of things out there. Do we have companies? Someone had something there. Do you have businesses that help with credit repair? I don't have a business. I know of several. All right, but ladies, you may want to speak on that. And I can provide the ones that I have. I will not refer one. That's called Staring. If we give that, I'll give you like 2 or 3 different people that's involved in that, and then you could speak to each of them and choose who you want to use.
Well, Mike Kelly, what we can do is this. I'm not affiliated with anyone that basically does credit repair and financial planning. Now, as far as the financial planning, we don't do the financial planning, but we do the financial education, where we teach you how to basically understand your money, how your money works. We also offer financial classes, which I advise everybody to take advantage of this, where we have
advantage of them
every Monday through Friday, 2, 8, and 10 p.m. So basically, if you guys get into the classes that we offer, the financial education classes that we offer, it's a workshop. You will be way ahead of your partner because of the fact you know this, and you'll be making better financial decisions for your own future and your family's future. So I would say the first thing I want to, and we'll take and broadcast the address up there that you can attend. But that's what I say, the workshop. But I'm not affiliated with anyone that is basically credit repair. But I want to put up here, and I'm going to have put it up on the screen, the address, the link that you can actually go to and join the classes anytime you want. Just join the classes.
Absolutely. You know, the workshops are valuable. Matter of fact, we have a beautiful workshop this evening. If Flo, if you could get that up there, and you will be blessed. We have
I'm
workshops
finna give it to
Monday
him
through
right now.
Saturday. Monday through Saturday. Workshops, financial literacy. We are big on that. And that's really what the crust is, or why we have this program. You know, it's to help people with, it's money, money, money. Help people with their money. You know, so I hope that helps, and I'll have the names of those companies next week, and we'll scroll them across so you guys could get them and contact these people. What other questions do we have out there? Man, time is flying by. Y'all see what time it is? Time
All
is
right, I
flying
want
by.
to do hey Tanya Anthony, I want to really quickly share our screen because I want to do a video and I want everyone to see this video because it's awesome. I'm gonna share my screen and I want you guys to be able, it just takes 3 minutes. Can y'all see that
You
screen?
should stay until the end of this video.
No?
Trust me. The
Maximize.
first thing you do is the not.
Can you see it now?
Maximize it.
Maximize.
Take up the whole screen. No, the video.
Go down here to the right corner of the screen. Right there. Right there. There you go.
All right.
12 years it takes for your ROI, return on investment, to double. The higher your interest rate is the least amount of years it will take for your money to double. A lower interest rate means it will take more years for your money to double. Example, let's take 3 individuals, all aged 18 years old. Their names are Alicia, Tyrone, and Shauna. They are all working and have saved $10,000. Each have taken their money and invested it. Alicia has invested her money at an interest rate of 4% return. To know how long it will take to double her money, we must divide 72 by the interest rate of 4%. 72 divided by 4 equals 18. This means it will take 18 years for $10,000 to double. Let's look at how Alicia's money will grow and what her age is every 18 years. At 36 years old, her money would double to $20,000. By the time she is 54 years old, her money would have doubled to $40,000. And finally, at 72 years old, her money would have increased to $60,000. Unfortunately, Alicia will have to work a job even in her old age because $60,000 at 72 years old? That's not enough money to live on. Tyrone has invested his money at an interest rate of 6%. Again, we must divide 72 by the interest rate of 6. 72 divided by 6 equals 12. It will take 12 years for Tyrone's money to double. At 30 years old, Tyrone's money will double to $20,000. At 42 years old, his money will double to $40,000. At 54 years old, his money will double to $80,000. And by the time he is 66, his money will have doubled to $160,000. This is still not enough money to live on. Shauna has a higher interest rate of 12% return. 72 divided by 12 equals 6. This means it will take 6 years for $10,000 to double. When she is 24 years old, her $10,000 would have doubled to $20,000. By the time she is 30, it would have doubled to $40,000. At 36 years old, her money would double to $80,000. By the time she is 42 years old, that initial $10,000 investment would have compounded to $160,000. At 48 years old, Shauna's investment would have increased to $320,000. At the early age of 54, Shauna can retire because her investment would have reached $640,000. As you can see, Shauna can retire at a younger age and double her money quicker every 6 years. Often, people think that saving money in a bank is the best way to build wealth, but leaving your money in the bank is a $600,000 mistake. Banks use the rule of 72 to make money on the cash you leave in their banks. They take 12% and leave you with 4%. They earn $600,000 with your $10,000 and give you $40,000. You must get mad at your financial situation now, not tomorrow, because anything you need today, you should have started it 5 years ago. For your future to look bright, you need to put in the work today. Peace.
That was
I
cute.
love her.
That was cute.
I love her.
That was so cute.
Right.
But
Let me see if I can get off of here. And
I'm already 54 years old, and I might be a little older than that. But I don't have $640,000 in the bank, right? So someone didn't tell me what to do.
The we got 650,000. You notice that, right?
Right.
Because
So
the women in right. You notice that, Anthony?
Yeah. Okay.
Our young people, what you just saw, audience, basically, this is what you're going to be learning in those workshops. In those workshop classes, you're going to be learning that. You're going to be learning the rule of 72. We're going to go over that real quick with you, how that works. But just think, our young people, just like this young girl here, obviously, she learned from her parents. You can only teach your children what you know. So if you don't know it, there's no way you can teach your children. So get in the habit of making sure that your children are learning what you learn, but you have to learn it first. I look at it this way. If you get into the class and workshops that we offer, you need to make a requirement that all of your children are in that class with you. Have to make that a requirement that all of the children are in that with you. Real quick, we're going to do the rule of 72 because we got like 13 minutes. Who wants to explain the rule of 72 real quick?
I thought she did.
She just did. She did it very well.
It's just that simple. We can't. I don't know another way of saying it.
I was thinking about the rate of return, how money grows, time, rate of return, inflation. That's what I was thinking about. But we can do that on another one.
Yeah. But basically, what we're saying is that the bank is not a place to save your money. As it's not a place to put your money in. You need to find another vehicle. And you know, when you get ready to open an account, that's another thing that checks your credit. When you go to the bank to start a new bank account, they're checking your credit also. So we got to make sure that you have, you're doing the things that you need to do to make sure that your credit is always good. And we had a list of 10 things that you should do. And number one is pay your bills on time.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that I learned over the years is that even if I have a lot of credit cards, which I've never had a lot, I've had a few, but those that have the highest interest is the ones that I work on the fastest. So I pay all the others on time. The one that has the highest credit rating, interest rate, is the one I put the extra on till I get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Then I go to the next. But when I'm doing that, I also look at putting 20% of the balance on that card so that I can pay it off. And what we also started receiving is that we started receiving this little statement on our cards that tell us if you pay the balance on time, how long it's going to take you to pay it.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that you are, shortening that time by doing something drastic to it, like putting more money on it. And so working at one credit card or one debt at a time and getting those things paid off. So put the minimum on the ones that have the lower interest rate. And if you have something that has 20-25% interest rate, like that Macy's card, then you need to put more on it each month so that you can pay that off sooner. And then work on the others, each one at a time. But paying your bills on time is one of the ways to improve your credit. Keep your credit balances low. So just because you have a credit card that has a $2,500 balance on it, don't spend up to $2,500. Do what you can handle. Keeping it under $500, $600 is good, because there's something also called debt to income ratio. And so you don't need to have all of your credit cards at the maximum limit. You all want to share some others?
Don't
Danielle,
close.
go ahead.
Ann. Go ahead,
No,
Anthony.
ladies
Got you.
first.
Oh, listen to him.
Ladies first.
Menopause.
I love working with these ladies. They're intelligent and smart.
We discussed this earlier. Don't close all your unused accounts. So no need to do that. Don't close them because, like Tanya said, history. The history you have with those cards make a big difference on your credit score as well. Only apply for credit when it's needed. Then shop for the best rates on loans and credit cards. Now you see that word shop. We always shopping in a store. We always shopping in the furniture store, the clothing store, every other store except for when it comes to our finances. So I like they use that word shop around. Shop around for good interest rates, lower interest rate. You can find it, but the fact is we just don't do that research. Separate and I want to say something else in reference to Tanya, what she said in reference to keep your balances low. Make sure that if you're going to use a credit card, make sure that if you use it, you can pay that credit card off in full, if possible, within 30 days. That's how you go without credit card interest at all, period. You can have a credit card and never pay interest, and that's how you do that. Separate your accounts after a divorce. It's just like you're getting married and you still have your insurance policy with your ex-wife's name on it, and then you pass away, and that wife you have now is pissed as out because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So make sure you separate your accounts after a divorce. If I recommend after a separation, so those are common sense things. Take it away, Anthony. Give us some more.
All right, great. Number 6, correct inaccuracies in your credit reports and make sure old information is removed. I guess we brought that up several times. You want to make sure that you do that. Just get it done because they will keep it on there because it doesn't bother them. It doesn't hurt their credit card company. It doesn't hurt their credit bureaus. They could care less. It's up to you. You have to be responsible. You have to take charge. You have to be in control. Go ahead and make sure that stuff is taken off. All right. Another one, avoid excess inquiries. We mentioned that earlier. All right. Every time you go somewhere and they pull your credit report, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. And go to too many places. I've known people to go to 3 places in one day. And that's 30 points off their credit score. All right. And then what's another one? Avoid bankruptcy if possible. Now, there's been folks that have been very successful in coming out of bankruptcy, and we have a living proof.
So true.
It worked in their favor. There's other people that bankruptcy just tears them up.
Yeah,
and they go right back into the same thing that they were in. Now, the negative thing about it is this. It's going to stay on your credit 7 to 10 years. All right. It's going to be there. All right. Whether you like it or not. So the best thing you could do when you're out of it, rebuild your credit. And that's why Flo, Mad Flo. Mad Flo. But, making a difference in the lives of others. That's why she brought that up. All right. So this is very important. I hope you guys are writing this down, taking a picture, or whatever you got to do. All right. The other thing is number 9, avoid consolidating. This is critical. Avoid consolidating.
Hold on.
All your balances onto one credit card. What is that going to do? That's going to blow up your balance on that one credit card. All right. It's going to be harder to pay that sucker off. All right. You don't want to exhaust all your monies on that credit card, right? What you want to do is something we teach in our workshops. It's called debt roll up. Debt roll up. What is debt roll up? You start with your lowest balance to the highest, and you make that minimum payment. But if you can add an extra $25, $50, $100, $200, add it. It's money you're not going to miss. Add it to that minimum payment. When that thing, and keep paying your other bills. Don't stop paying them. Keep paying your other bills. When that small one is paid, then you take that minimum payment plus the extra money, add it to the next one, the next highest one, and you keep doing that. All right. And it's like a snowball effect till you pay everything off. It's going to cut the time down tremendously, and it's going to save you a bunch of money in interest. We call it debt roll-up. You could attend our #1 workshop to learn more about that. And the last thing Tanya brought up was negotiate with your creditors. Reach out to them. Call those folks. Call them. You owe them $5,000. You'd be surprised who would take $2,000 just so they could get it off their books. You'd be surprised who would take $500 just to get it off their books. All right, so Flo, it's back to you. You're muted. Flo, you're muted.
Phone was ringing, so I had to mute.
Turn that phone off, girl.
We're going to do our Do You Know. We're going to do this real quick. You want to wrap it up. And if y'all have the same sheets, I'm going to go number the first two. Do you know? Payment history. Payment history is the most important ingredient in credit scoring. And even one missed payment can have a negative impact on your score. Number two, amounts owed. Your credit usage, particularly as represented by your credit utilization ratio, is the next most important factor in your credit scores. What's the next one? The next two, Tanya?
Well, definitely the next one that I want to talk about is credit history length. You know, I get tired of some of the reports, and my report is long, and there's things that I'm no longer using. But the only reason that it's on there is because of its history. And so that history allows you to be able to get more and more and more. And it makes up about 15% of your FICO score. So of your credit score that you have, it makes up 15%. So you don't want to get rid of your credit history. You want to keep it as long as you possibly can on your credit report, because the longer it is, then the better or the higher your score is.
All right, so the credit mix. People with top credit scores often carry a diverse portfolio of credit accounts, which might include a car loan, a credit card, a student loan, a mortgage, and other credit products. So just don't restrict it to one thing. Diversify a little bit, but use wisdom in everything. Don't get carried away by anything, though. All right. So you have to be in control. You have to be in control. Don't let the credit card companies be in control. The last one, Ms. Flo, why don't you do that one?
Hey, new credit. The number of credit accounts you've recently opened, as well as the number of hard inquiries lenders make when you apply for credit, accounts for 10% of your FICO score. Too many accounts or inquiries can indicate increased risk, and as such can hurt your credit score. So make sure that you know you're not getting all these new credit inquiries on your card, okay, on your score. Now, want to instantly increase your credit score? Experian Boost. Now, this helps by giving you credit for the utility and mobile phone bills you're paying. Until now, those payments did not positively impact your score. So take and investigate that. Take and do a little research on that. Now you can use your utilities. And even now, believe it or not, you can use your rent. You just have to, do the research to find out how you can use it. All you have to do is Google it. We're in a microwave era. Just take and Google, how can I use my rent to increase my score?
Well, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week, Friday at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock, and bring a fan.
One more thing I want to share before it goes out. Everyone has
hurry up.
You have a Facebook profile. I want you to stop putting your birth year on your profile. Take off your birth year. Just have your birthday and birth month, but do not have the year. You're giving people an opportunity to hack you. I'm telling you, that's how these Facebook hackings are happening. So check
it. You want all things relevant on Friday at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
All things relevant.